How's it going, everyone? Hope you guys are having a great 2024 so far. Happy New Year, and good luck with all of your New Year resolutions or whatever. I never have been a big fan of New Year's resolutions, but like if you're setting goals for yourself, good luck at hitting those goals and having a great year. I think 2023 was a little bit tumultuous for all of us. A lot of crazy stuff happened. It was a great year for gaming as a whole. I think it's one of the best years that we've had in gaming in quite a while, but as we head into 2024, we are going to continue to cover a lot of great game deals. We've done a lot of coverage on the holiday sale. More coverage is to come with that, especially with the refresh happening in a few days. And of course, a lot of you guys have shifted on over to buying more games physically after the little hoopla with Discovery happened. No need to go down that rabbit hole again, but there's a lot of good stuff available physically. We got some deals from Amazon, GameStop, and I want to make one note about Best Buy with a pre-order that's coming up, pre-order bonus for one of the bigger titles in January, so we'll get to that in a little bit. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to ask you guys, please like this video and do leave a comment with your thoughts. It really does help out the channel a lot, and it is much appreciated. But first of all, let's cover the Amazon deals. Right off the top, Sonic Superstars is 50% off for $29.99. Guys, this is the reality when you talk about picking up games during that fall and holiday period. You know, even a little over 2 months later, just 2 months, that's not a long time whatsoever with Sonic Superstars, and it is half of its initial price point. And remember, going into the release of this game, a lot of people were of the mindset, hey, like, Sonic Superstars looks like a cool game, but $60 sounds a little bit pricey. Then you had people fire back being like, why are people complaining about the $60 price tag, etc., etc., and you know, games like Sonic Superstars could absolutely be at a $60 price point, but if you're familiar with Sega and Sonic game releases, you knew that this was gonna go on sale fairly quickly. Honestly, I didn't expect it to be on sale this quickly, but I remember with Sonic Frontiers, and that was like a bigger Sonic game, that game went on sale fairly quickly, so I expected Sonic Superstars to hit the, not the bargain bin, but hit a discount pretty quickly, and here it's 50% off for $29.99, which this game also came out at a time with like 8 billion other games coming out, so that was kind of an issue as well, but nonetheless, $30 for that now. If you want to check it out, go ahead. Another recent release from Atlas and Sega, Persona 5 Tactica, is 42% off for $35, so sizable discount here as well. This was available on Xbox Game Pass day one, but man, to see it this heavily discounted already, kind of surprising there as well. Persona titles do tend to hold up in price, but it's kind of a different story when you talk about these spin-off Persona games, and Tactica is very much a spin-off title, but it still gives you more of the iconic cast and characters that a lot of you know and love, so if you want more of that, in a tactical combat style, you will get that with Persona 5 Tactica. That is $35. Pretty good, given that that game, again, just came out back in November. Not even 2 months old at this point, and $35 from its $60 price tag. You gotta be selective when it comes to some of these games, especially in Q1, guys. I know it's gonna be, and I'm a sucker and I buy everything. I mean, I do cover games on this channel, so I'm in a different position than a lot of you guys. But if you are gonna be, you know, a little mindful with your wallet, you just look at some of these games that came out just a couple months ago and they're already heavily discounted. Now, I think it's going to be a different case. Like, the holiday games tend to go on sale a little bit quicker because you are around that holiday period, but even with some of the upcoming releases, I foresee them going on sale, you know, in 2 to 3 months after release. Assassin's Creed Mirage, a game that did hold up in price a little bit more than I had expected, but right now, over on Amazon, it's down to $35. There's a 5% off coupon, which would knock off another $1.75. So if my second grade level math is correct, it would be $33.25, which I think is a pretty good deal for AC Mirage. Now, this game did start off as an expansion to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and then they kind of spun it into its own game. Not as lengthy, but more up my alley as far as the scale of an Assassin's Creed game. If we can, like, scale back AC titles to the level of AC Mirage, you know I'd be all over it. I would really like to go back to Assassin's Creed from its roots, and hey, if we get, like, an Assassin's Creed 4 remake that's rumbled, which I don't know if that game needs a remake, but nonetheless, if they do an AC4 remake and I get more of my boy Edward Kenway, I'll be down with that, and I guess, you know, I'm gonna be a sucker and pick up the Assassin's Creed in Japan as well. You know I gotta play that, so yeah, Mirage, $33.25 on that. Last of Us Part 1, inching lower and lower in price point ahead of the release of Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Last of Us Part 1 on Amazon is $36.35. Once it gets to like 30 bucks flat, I think I'll slam dunk recommend it all the time. 36 is still a little bit high, and I know we're picking at hairs here when we're talking about a $6 price differential, but yeah, the game is a decade old. I have mentioned it several times though. Last of Us 1 is one of my favorite games of all time, and this is like, as much of a remake of a 2013 game is gonna be, this is a pretty well done one. And it does include Left Behind, the bonus DLC content, so, you know, you have that in there as well. No, obviously no multiplayer here, but what can you do as far as that's concerned? $36.35, decent deal there. Give another shout to Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. It's down to 50 bucks. This literally came out a month ago, and it being 29% off, I think, is worth a mention. Ubisoft hooked me up with a copy of the game. It's a big Ubisoft open world game. You guys know the formula at this point. Honestly, Avatar as an IP, I really can't get down with. If you guys are a fan of it, more power to you. It's not my cup of tea. Is it, like, fundamentally a well-made game? Kinda. I think the soundtrack is really good. The visuals are really good. And, you know, if you're an Avatar fan, I think you'll like the game. For everybody else, I would wait for a far deeper discount. And this game does have quite a bit of DLC content in the works. The season pass's price is like $40, which is crazy, but you know, what can you do? $40 is becoming more of a standard price point for season passes, which is just wild to think about, but what can you do? I don't control things like that. And lastly, as far as the Amazon deals go, Octopath Traveler 2 is 50% off for $29.99. A lot of you guys want more turn-based JRPGs. I don't think a Final Fantasy is going to go back to the turn-based route anytime soon outside of, like, remakes and whatnot, if they decide to remake some of the classic titles. But Octopath Traveler is here and hopefully here to stay, and Octopath Traveler 2 is a damn good game. Great HD 2D art style, and yeah, for 30 bucks, quite good. A great cast of characters there as well. So those are the Amazon deals. Want to make one note over at Best Buy. For those of you picking up Tekken 8, they are adding a free metal plate with Tekken 8 pre-orders, and yeah, if you want that, I just remember instances of, like, Best Buy giving out a Crisis Core, with Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, they were giving out Steelbooks with Zack, I believe, on the cover of the Steelbook, and that ended up being worth a pretty penny. So with these pre-order bonuses from Best Buy, sometimes they become kind of valuable, so I thought I would make mention of that. I don't know how much a free metal plate is going to be worth, but nonetheless, I thought I would mention it. Lastly, a couple of deals from GameStop to go over, and then we'll round things out. Forspoken is $17.50. I think this is the perfect price for Forspoken, a game that I was pretty critical of back in January of last year. Can you imagine it's been a year since Forspoken dropped? I feel like that 2023 went by so quickly, but everybody says as you get older, the years go by quicker. For some of you that are a little older than me, let me know in the comments about that. But Forspoken, $17.50. There's stuff I liked about Forspoken. As much as I hated the characters, as much as I hated the story, and visually there are times where the game looks really good, and then there are times the character models just look atrocious. The gameplay is super flashy, and I do like the magical combat, and the parkour is great in the game. You know, I wouldn't say spend $70, but the Forspoken is one of those games that's a key illustrating factor. Some games just can't get away with a $70 price tag. But at $17.50, and I think the video I uploaded like a year ago, I said wait for $15 to $20 and then pick it up. Well, it's right in the middle of that, so I would say at this price point, not a bad pickup. Next up, Persona 5 Royal Steelbook Edition. They do note Steelbook on the title at GameStop, so it looks like you do get a Steelbook with this. 30 bucks for that. It's P5R, one of the greatest JRPGs ever created. Some would say the greatest JRPG ever created, so I thought I would give that a mention. I don't gotta sell you on that at this point, but yeah, P3R obviously coming out in just a month from now, so that's something a lot of people are excited for. I'll give a shout out to Mato Anomalies. It is down to 15 bucks. Now, this is a game that went super under the radar, done by Arrowways and published by Prime Matter. Prime Matter's a newer publishing firm that they've been publishing some cool stuff, and Mato Anomalies gives a lot of vibes of an SMT game, but don't think of it at that level. Very much kind of a scaled back SMT game. Nothing to write home about from a visual standpoint, but interesting characters. The story is pretty interesting, and the soundtrack's pretty good as well. Kind of dull from a visual standpoint, but yeah, for 15 bucks, if you're like, a fiend for JRPGs and you're trying to play all of them, I don't think that's a bad price, but really the perfect price for the game. It was a budget release as well. Lastly, another game that's kind of a lower budget RPG, ELEX 2 is $15, and I think for this price, that's pretty decent. ELEX was a very, average RPG, and ELEX 2 built upon that. Game came out back in early 2022, so at this point, almost 2 years old, but $15, not a bad price point for that either. But that is going to do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals available right now. Links to everything in the description box below. I just want to thank you guys once again for all the support in 2023. Let's have a killer 2024, let's get some stuff done with our backlogs. I know you guys got like 8 billion games in there, and a lot of good stuff coming out. I don't need to be a broken record about Q1, but man, it's going to be an exciting next 3 months, and I am absolutely pumped. A lot of cool stuff to cover over the course of the next couple of months, and it should be a great year all around. Fingers crossed that disaster doesn't strike, but that'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.